Hi, my name is Aviram. I'm the 2013 World Cup champion and the chief developer of Specto Bowling, KEGEL new ball tracking technology. And I'm going to talk to you about Specto today. A few words about Specto and what it does. Specto is a LiDAR-based sensor that tracks objects in space. In this occasion, it's bowling balls. And the way it's doing that, it's a spinning sensor. It spins at about 23 times per second. So if we were to think about a normal bowling shot that takes about 2.5 seconds to go from the foul line to the pins, we can track the ball approximately 60 or 70 times per shot. So we can track the ball where it is every foot down the lane. That gives us position, gives us angles, gives us speed, and more importantly, it gives us consistency from shot to shot. Today I'm going to talk to you about two applications of Specto. First is the mobile application that is available for Android and Apple. You can download it for free. And the second one is the coaches application that's available on training centers around the world. First off is the mobile application. First things we're seeing on the mobile applications are the 6 basic columns that Specto tracks about the bowling ball, where it is at the arrows, breakpoint, distance and position, entry board, launch speed, and RPM. This alone gives you enough information to practice and to make sure that whatever you think you are doing is actually what's happening on the lane. You make a shot, you think you hit the third arrow, this will tell you if you actually hit it or missed it. And more importantly, if you make more shots, you can see how consistent you are. For the more advanced bowlers, we can switch to the 10 columns view, which gives us additional information like where the ball was at the foul line, the impact speed, which tells us exactly how much speed the ball has lost from beginning to the end. Which is very good if you want to check how your balls are performing down the lane. Another great feature that I really like to use is the 3D view. You can switch to it on the mobile app and see where the ball is on different views down the lane. It gives you information about the skid, hook, and roll phases of the ball. So skid phase in blue, hook in red, and then if we have any roll, then it's in green. And the really cool part about it is that we can track the ball as it's going through the pins. So we can check the deflection of the ball. So now, the next time you actually get the 10 pin, you look here and you figure out why. Is it the deflection problem? So now that you've seen what Specto can do, what can you do with it? One of the first things you want to do is create a ranking session, check where you are, give you kind of a look and feel on how good you are. Exactly. So what you would do is you'd go to challenges and create a ranking session. You have a 5, 10, or a 15-shot ranking session, and when you complete one of those ranking sessions, you will get a report showing you how consistent you are. This challenge is all about consistency. And once you complete that challenge, it will generate a report for you. It will show you your weaknesses and your strengths of the game, so you can now focus on just the things that are not strong on your game and keep the strong part alone for now until you improve the weaker parts of your game. Once you have gotten your report from Specto and you know what are your strengths and your weaknesses, it's time to start working on improving your game. The best way to do that is using the deep practice. Deep practice is an excellent way to eliminate all the clutter and focus on just the things that you want to work on. For example, just use the deep practice to focus on arrows, on where you lay down the ball at the foul line, your speeds, your angles. You can set your target and you set your range, and then you would get a shot-by-shot immediate feedback, either it's in range or out of range, so you can start focusing only on that aspect of the game. Another mode of the deep practice is the dual view, one of my personal favorites. It lets you focus on the 2 items that are most important to you in parallel. What I like to do is go and look at the arrows and launch speed, and repeat these shots and make sure that I get them as close as possible as the previous shots, or I can switch over to foul line and arrows. This mode right here makes sure that my walking and my angles, the body angles, are correct for the line that I'm playing, and then I'll repeat this again and again with different lines, making sure that I can repeat my execution. Another feature of Specto is recording a ball performance test. It's also here in challenges. When you start a ball performance test, Specto will ask you to throw 5 shots down the lane. Once you completed the 5 shots, Specto will generate a ball performance report for you. The ball performance report would show you the total boards the ball has hooked, what were the angle changes, and how those angles were changed throughout the lane, how much angle change was on the heads and mids and how much in the backends, what was the total speed loss, and you can see a graph of what that line, the average of those 5 shots looked like. And then you can use this to compare between 2 shots, 2 bowling balls. For example, we can compare between these 2 bowling balls. One of them is kind of a skid snap shaped bowling ball, and the other one is more of an arc bowling ball. And the way we can see that is where the total change of direction is completely different between the 2, but the total hook is almost the same. So the ball hooked the same, but it did it in a completely different manner. And you can use this in order to check your bowling balls to make sure you have a variety of different shapes, and also alter the surface of the bowling balls and check how much it affected the performance of the ball. Specto also comes with a set of practices that are targeted on a certain aspects of the game. For example, you can use the practices to work on corner pins or bowling on the first arrow, second arrow, so forth. The way it works is it will show you a set of pathfinders or ranges on the lane that you need to hit, and it will track your shots, giving you a score or a rank percentage of success for your attempt. One of my favorite practices is zonal proficiency. It takes 60 shots to complete this. This is a very hard test, and it will check how good you are bowling different areas on the lane. It will ask you to shoot 10 shots under the first arrow and hit the pocket, and once you've completed those 10 shots, it will move on to the second arrow, third arrow, all the way up to the 6th arrow. Now you will get 10 attempts. It will rank you on how many out of the 10 you have completed. And the idea is to get your original score and try to improve on it day by day. This will teach you to play on every area of the lane and transition and move accordingly to keep your line to the pocket. Switching over to the Coaches app. The Coaches app provides you with more information that is more suited for the higher level coaching. For example, if I were to just add all the columns available to the Coaches app, it would be a big mess of information on the screen. But it allows you to customize the screen and look only at the information that you want to look at. For example, board performance information, speed information, position information, and so on. Another feature that's only available in the Coaches app is the line tool. Line tool allows you to draw a virtual line, a straight line on the lane, and assist you with your alignment towards your target. It's good if you're using the 3-point targeting. It shows you where you need to keep your focus on at the pins, and it tells you where the laydown point should be in order to create that line. With the Coaches app, you can also overlay a lane pattern and visualize it on the screen on top of the existing shots. This is very useful for coaching purposes, teaching the bowlers where the lane is, where the oil is, and where the friction is, so the bowler can understand the movements and can adapt better to the different types of patterns out there. You can also overlay the topography map, and this will also show you the current topography map of that lane you are using with Specto, and also very good to describe the changes that the forces that the ball will feel as it travels down the lane. The Coaches app can also show you the skid, hook, roll phases of the ball. And another feature that the Coaches app has, which is only available on the Coaches app, is the speed meter. The way it works is it shows you a bright green on those areas of the ball where it didn't lose any speed, and then it gets darker towards the grayish, towards the purplish area where the ball is losing a lot of speed. And then you can compare that speed loss with different bowling balls on different patterns and understand what friction does to your ball. Another great feature of the Coaches app is its ability to track an enormous amount of shots, and you can use this to figure out what happens on the lane over time, breakdown of the lane. So this is an example of 380 shots collected with Specto running in the background. So what you can see is, again, skid hook roll of every shot, and then you can turn on just the one-shot view on top of a background of the previous shot. And this is very good to demonstrate how bowlers had to transition throughout the game. So this was the last shot thrown on that competition, while this is one of the first shots. And you can see how much a transition was between the first and last shot over the amount of time that they bowled. Another good view is the single shot view. And this view allows you to also see the ball speed loss throughout the shot. This is kind of a map of speed loss of the ball. A bright green shows you can take a better shot than this. A bright green shows you no speed loss throughout the shot, which means the ball traveled on a lot of conditioner. And then when it gets to the back, it gets darker towards the purplish color, which means the ball starts to lose a lot more speed, and then you can see the ball change direction. This is very good, very useful to understand the physics behind the change of direction of the ball, and you can use this to compare between different bowling balls and how they react to friction with different surfaces. The last feature I'm going to talk about in Specto, in the Coaches app, is a few of those hidden areas of the shape of the ball that it's very hard to track. For example, where did the ball change direction the most as it traveled down the lane? In the Coaches app, we have those tick marks, the orange, the yellow tick marks. They show us where the ball had the rapid change of direction. After that point, the ball still changed direction, but not as much as it did before that. And you can also use this marker here to track the ball through the 60 feet of travel, and this will give you information about where it was at that area and the speed, so you can focus on a specific foot down the lane and get the information of the ball on that area only. This was a quick introduction about Specto. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have additional questions, don't hesitate to ask. Find us on Facebook or go to spectobowling.com. Thank you very much.